that we are all moving from one state to the other. An example of the power you already have that you don't know. Pagkausap mo yung nanay mo, ibang klase kang tao. Pero next yung punta ka, barkada, uy, pare, tangina mo. You laugh because it's true. You can shift in an instant. How'd you do that? Sayang, di ba? You have a power you don't know how to use. Pag umusap mo ng bata, di ba? Oh, shift. We're always shifting. But if you're not catching yourself, hindi nyo nahuling ginagawa nyo, sayang. Nakita ko lagi sa girls, pag usap yung tatay, lagi yung boses nila tumataas. Nagiging nagbe-baby voice sa tatay. Because it's a script, it's a habit. And we all have different habits. When we talk to businessmen, lahat ng securities natin or lahat ng lumalabas when we talk to other people. But if you're not aware, you don't see it. Nakakala mo lang, hindi, mayayabang yung mga ganyan eh. Really? How many do you know? Kasi if you come in with a way of looking at things, tas di ka bukas, you're not aware, sayang, ang daming lost opportunity. Or for girls, hindi, maaarte yung mga ganyan eh. Diba? Ang daming nating preconceptions, generalizations about things in our lives. Ay, hindi yung business, mahirap yan. We do. And it stops us from experiencing things firsthand. Lagi tayong third person point of view. Lagi tayong YouTube versus me too. There's a difference. We can't live vicariously. And hypnotherapy gives us an option, first, to understand ourselves. To be the pilot na, yeah, I am deciding kung gusto kong gawin. And second, to help others, uy, tignan mo itong ginagawa sa sarili mo para. With what we teach, meron 3 main things na importante sa tao. I hope you take note kasi I'm sure you'll use this. Number 1 is business and success. Number 2, relationships. Number 3, can you get? And then number 3. Close. Third is health. Health. So business or success. Second is relationships. Third is health. Lagi yun ang ikot sa any conversation. You can open any person on any of those 3. Kasi it's always top of our mind. Lagi natin iniisip. Because the loss of one makes all the other things feel like shit. Diba? Kumita kang pera pero nasira isang relationship. Diba? Itatapo mo yung pera mo yun just to feel a little better. Magagastusin mo. Silang relationship, then you feel like a robot just working. Meron kang career, meron kang natapos one relationship. Doesn't work, you need all 3. And unless you know it, ang solution natin with not having a relationship, let's work more. Diba? Let's put that away. So, that doesn't help us. Right? So, any questions so far? Come back a second. Layo niya. Balik mo na. Any questions about the course, about what we can do, how do I apply it to myself? Done? Or in a few minutes? Ay, yes.
So, halimbawa, nag-take mo yung course, tapos, you wanted to, leave your job, or you can do that?
Okay, you have to decide. Diba? Again, going back to what I said, yeah, you have to decide. Kasi there are different ways to do it. You could sabay mo yung dalawa, tas, okay, ina-manage mo. Getting better, getting more clients, then you can. But you don't have to. You can choose.
Kasi what if you don't want your job, or, parang just to survive lang.
Ayun, that's an important recognition that you'd like to do something more. But again, hindi kailangan biglaan. You can choose. Any questions? How to apply? Ano yung future use? Because again, we're not expecting everyone to be therapists. But you can put it into how you communicate with people. To be more powerful, to be more rememberable, to be remarkable. I'm sure you've met someone na okay yun ah. First time you palang meet, okay siya kausap. But you don't know why. That's how it works. So for the next part, Robert. What? Lost ka rin.
Can I ask you guys a question? Just jumping off something that Pastor Job just said. Oh, by the way, please join our church services tomorrow. If you enjoyed this service, you'll be happy to be enthralled by the life that we're in tomorrow. I'm kidding. But it felt like, right? Yeah. Okay. Now, just speaking about the last thing that Pastor Job mentioned, is there any area of your life, and there are 3 major areas, allow me to shift into a more modulating voice for better dispatch. There are three major areas. There are three major areas to your life. There's business, finance, or success. That's one. There's this thing called relation, depending on where you're coming from, shits or relationships. Right? Depending on whether or not your shit has shit.
It's awesome now.
Yeah. Okay, sure. Business, finance, or success, relationships, and
Health.
really? I didn't know that was important. Okay, now thinking of just those three things, are there areas of your life which aren't at par or which could be better? Or, 5 years down the road, I don't want it to be as the way it is now, even though it seems survivable now. And just raise your hands if I hit any of those. Great. Question number 2. What's your notion of therapy? What does it mean to therapize something? To receive therapy? To be in therapy? To be treated in some way or another? Or what's your notion of therapy? It's hypnotherapy, right? What's therapy? That's the thing I'm jumping off from where Pastor Joel was coming from. What's your notion? Come on, share. Yeah.
You're trying to correct something that is... I'm trying to correct something that is...
You're trying to correct something. What else?
To bring healing.
Healing, correction, healing, what else?
Treatment.
Treatment, correction, healing, treatment. Okay?
Better coping mechanisms.
Better coping mechanisms. Correction, healing, treatment, better coping mechanisms. Isn't that therapy? What if you could deliver that therapy for that area of your life? So yeah, we aren't insisting that everyone becomes a hypnotherapist, but honestly, from the get-go, we knew that some would be here to hypnotherapize or to treat certain areas of your life. They needed some notion, some understanding, some beliefs, some credentials, some feeling, some state, some change, some game changer that would allow them to be different starting that day forward in that particular area of life. So no, we aren't asking you to be hypnotherapists per se, but if you'd like that, as John said, is on the table, definitely. That's for the offer. But also on the side, there's that brilliant, beautiful opportunity to be a hypnotherapist first and foremost for yourself. Nothing beats that. Nothing beats changing your life first, so that it actually makes sense that people come to you automatically and that you have something to offer. Nothing quite beats, hitting new potential, shifting in certain areas, reconsidering a different way to look at the planet. And nothing beats starting from what's most important. Honestly, people will tell you from the motivation side of things, do this, do that, success first, etc. But honestly, first things first. If there's shit on your mind, success can't happen. First things first, you gotta take care of what's occupying your mind first. And in the way, that to me is therapy. That to me is what Job speaks to when he says to shift from one state to another. The ability to manage states. So if not anything else, my invitation, as you consider even more what we're doing and how we're going to help you out from this day forward in the time to come, think about which areas of your life you would like to improve and how. And if you haven't figured that off by the time the course is like 80% done, call us out. We'll help you out. Because in a very strange way, this leads into the most significant coaching that there is, the coaching of self. And I hope that you actually take this as far as it goes. And I hope that you change in those areas of your life, especially the ones which hurt the most. Keeping in mind that what's nice is, even if you focus on just one area of your life, the tendency is the other areas of your life improve, because people are holographic. changes and improvements in any area of your life tend to spill over into the other areas of your life. We have people who work on their financial life just because it's top of their mind. They can't think without it. They take care of that, everything else improves. Some people just need to have their heart in the right place, and then they can function. It's different for everybody. When a loved one is at deathbed, priorities change as well. Okay? So, reconsider how important it is to have certain areas of your life be in order. And once you change that for yourself, how many other lives you can change. That's what's on offer. That's a chance to give the opportunity, and we do hope you'll take it with us. Okay? Thank you.
We'd like to call on Luigi to discuss your details.
So, hi, I'm Luigi. So I'll just take 5 minutes since we're at the end of 10, right? 10. So just for one question, does everybody have this piece of paper? Yung wala pa, please raise their hand. So Ken could give them. And also make sure that your name is on the attendance sheet so we could send you some more files about this event. Okay, so starting over, we have 2 events actually happening starting April 29. So first one is this one. So change words. But I'll skip to that. Dito muna tayo sa una, what we have already talked about, and most of you guys already know. So I don't know why you are here or what the person who invited you told you about this event. But there's only one thing I know. You're here, right? You're here. Hypnotherapy. Hypnosis. Budol-budol. But anyway, we already got that covered kanina. So yeah. First event is CHPH. Okay, this is happening in May 3 to May 8. It's 6 days. Okay, and the mention na rin kanina ni Job, the speaker coming over here would be Karsten Kuestner from Germany. Okay, so I'll be an attendee then on that event, and there are others here who will also be attending that event as students. Okay, so why did I choose to go to the event? First thing that got my attention, I don't know if it's gonna happen again. Okay, so I don't know if it's gonna happen again, so I'm taking a chance now. So that's the first reason. Second, I'm in motivations. I mean,
Baka hindi na maulit?
we don't know.
Yeah.
So
2 years.
we
2 years.
can see. Really?
Trainers.
So yeah. So that's the first thing. The second is I'm into motivation to helping people, and attending this event, the one that I skipped last year, made me realize something different. The insight on that event, that 3-day event, is I was helping people wrongly. I was trying to get this on this knowledge and then trying to give it to them as an answer. Where in fact, the better way is letting them find their own answers, right? That's one insight. So the process will be taught to you on the event. So again, going back, this is going to be on May 3. Okay, and our speaker will be Karsten Kuestner. And aside from that, what did I miss?
Your wife.
Really? Yeah. So I think everybody has a paper now. So I'll just run through doon sa mangyayari in that section.
Guys, if you have questions, this is a perfect time to make Luigi panic. Ask anything.
Ako din pangalan naman. So yeah.
We are deliberately trying to see how to work.
Yeah, tapos yung nakuha ko pang paper doesn't have the day one. So,
It's alright.
but day one will be most likely orientation, that's ending day one. Okay. Yeah, so for day one, that will be orientation.
Parang nagdikit lang yung
Okay.
Wow, it's perception.
Power.
What an insight.
Got energy.
Oh my
So,
God.
day one, so that will be orientation day. So yung sinabi sa inyo kanina dyan, which is one part of it. there will be more. Okay, and then on the second day, there will be induction phase. Ito na yung sa induction phase will be, tuturuan na kayo ng iba't ibang way to start hypnotherapy. Okay, so that will be covered on day 2 and day 3. And they will be teaching a very special skill set called non-awareness set. Okay, and most of the attendees, okay, that ask them, yung testimonial nila about this is, just by learning this one skill, this one process, knowing this, is worth it to have nung in-invest sila for the program. Okay, so that will be non-awareness, and that is just one of the many na ituturo ko sa inyo on that. And on... Days 3 and day 4, they will teach you the therapeutic process. Okay? So for this part is
So Luigi, madalas kasi natatanong sa akin.
yes.
Hindi naman pa rin ako ito. Madalas kasi natatanong sa akin, anong difference ng CHPH sa CW?
Oh. Okay.
Oo, kasi yung CHPH ka, hindi ko alam kung ano yun.
Okay, so
Urban chips yun. Urban chips.
chips.
CHPH. Chips.
Pero sige. Going to that question, we have to depend. So what's the difference? Una, with conversational hypnosis, or the certification training, you would, by the word itself, get certified. Okay, so this will be an international certification. And after this, you're gonna have a title to add to your name. Pero what's common about them is they will be teaching you hypnosis through conversation, through language. And the reason why is I find this to be very helpful because I communicate. Does everybody here communicate? Yes, and if you have a better way of communicating things, they would hear you better. They would understand you. They would know what you're saying to them. Am I right? Agree? So, it's all about language. Okay, so, yun yung nakita ko sobrang reason why you take events and why I'm doing it myself.
Guys, just so this makes more sense. Luigi's here, coming from the same boat you're coming in through. He hasn't attended CHPH, nor he has been to change words. He has been to one event, so he has a distinct experience of Karsten Kuestner delivering what Karsten Kuestner does really well. But he hasn't done the certification course. He's here trying to figure out, same boat as you are, trying to figure out what am I here for, what am I doing?
Yes.
Why this? Why not something else? What's so good about this, and how do I do it? Yes. Okay. Common. Can I answer this? I got asked this very recently, actually. I'm not a psychiatrist or a psychologist. I'm not a psychiatrist or a psychologist. Do I need that? And is that any conflict? Okay, so this is the extended way of answering your same question. No, not really. Basic requirements, if at all, that you're there, that you're of pretty sound mind, that you can understand some degree of English, which is every single Filipino on the face of Filipino world. That's it.
How nice is the age requirements? Can 8-year-old take this or what?
Okay. Let's overgeneralize that. Yes, you can take your 8-year-old to take this. We would happily certify him, but in most parts of the world, you can be allowed to drive with supervision, but you cannot drive alone. In the US, it's 16. Okay, so I'm pretty sure we can find a way to apprentice your child at 8 and let him go by 18, and he'd be hats off, the most incredible 18-year-old hypnotist certified that there happens to be, with 10 years of training with us under his belt. He'd fantastic. Actually, no a surgeon was like that, but you know, depends on where you're coming from. Usually, it's 18. So that's age requirement. Okay, but extremes of age aren't a problem. Okay, as Robert puts out, lolos and grand lolos and super grand lolos have been to the course. Okay, no problem. An ancient one has been to the course. No problem.
Kasi yung Asian, gano'n ka-ancient.
Alright, so we're good. We're good. I hope that helps. As long as you have enough attention span, you know, to be there for a while, and we take frequent breaks. We're very mindful of the fact that people have really short attention spans, so we do keep that in mind. Okay? We also happen to have a whole room of hypnotists. So by example, even though it's been your first experience with Jov, and that was a long speech, that was a long-ass speech. You were attentive, right? You were paying attention to Jov? That was a friggin' long-ass speech, but you were there. You were there. So yeah, we'll have ways of keeping your attention even if you think your attention isn't so good. Okay? And we'll have fun. And if we aren't having fun, you make us kalabit and, hoy, hindi ako nag-get. And we'll do something about it. Okay? Luigi will purposely dance with any kind of underwear or bra that you want, just so we have your attention. Yes, dear?
I mean, yeah, after we should graduate this, we can do counseling.
Hell yeah.
Already.
If you'd like, you could. Is this me personally?
Yeah, yeah.
Me personally. Just me personally. Or the range. At the clinic, the lowest that's charged is 2.5. The lowest that the session with me starts is 4.5. A session with me done outside starts at 7.
And you're allowed, I mean, there's a government
We're pretty much it, because state by state and country by country, the laws aren't yet enforced strongly by countries. Okay? So you can declare your tax. We could probably help you find the correct category, but that's as far as it goes. As for a licensing, this is, how should we say? This is the credibility body. This will become like a licensing thing, but right now the stage where it honestly is at is where rehabilitation medicine for medicine was before. Before rehabilitation, before 10 years ago, it didn't exactly exist. And then it started a whole new branch of medicine, now doctors of physical therapy and advanced rehab, and now it's established as a general thing in general medicine. So this is at that stage. We're starting something that isn't yet strongly regulated, but in the future, I believe it will be. Say that again.
in the other countries.
Other countries, how do you mean? Is it in other countries? We're in fascinatingly, to my understanding, at least 36 countries. At least. It's an international certification that I'm aware of. It's around that many countries because I've been through some workshops where I hear people rattle off the countries, and how many is that? Somebody asked. And that, to my knowledge, echoes about 36. So I don't know how many countries there are. But yeah, I heard that much. And you will have colleagues all around the world. And if you'd like, one of the nicest things to do is actually, there's this thing called Skype that I just discovered. It's amazing. You can actually be anywhere in the world without meditating. I mean, I had to go into deep gamma states just to reach other parts of the world before, and then I discovered Skype. And one of the invitations is to co-coach, to co-train, to play with your classmates, and we're going to start that. So that gives you an opportunity to really start this running, even at the get-go. And I hope that helps to answer the question. And any other questions you might have, we'll figure it out. Okay? We'll figure it out. And if we haven't figured it out yet, 20% of the time before the time is complete, tap on our shoulders so we have time to address it. Okay? Plus, we have a tendency to not disappear. We're kind of like nice people and not bad exes. We tend to kind of stick around. We don't change our numbers. We personally like to be found, and we'd like you to find us. And we'd like to connect and figure out what works. Hope that helps. Questions? Questions? Hello, questions? Yes.
Demo.
Demo.
Therapy.
Demo. Okay. Can I do a demo and a short kind of talk at the same time?
Yeah.
Where it will look like a talk, but it's a demo. Where it will look like we're just talking, we're just conversing, but actually somebody's being nasty and is actually doing something really nice. Can we do that?
Sure.
Right.
That's mine.
You don't know what's happening, do you? You sincerely don't know. Right.
Basta ikaw, hindi ko talaga.
No, but something is happening, isn't it? And you don't know who's in control of that. But it feels good. And every time you feel that good, you know that other things can feel good as well, don't you? Right, so what did I just do?
Smile.
Before we begin, I hope this expresses on some level and other levels how easy, how natural, how comfortable this is. Okay? How just like talking. So it can look like coaching, it can look like pep talk, it can look like other things. Okay. So now for the thing I wanted to say, somebody brought up with me that, I'm sorry, this is a personal crusade on my part, that she had triggers. Does anybody know what that is? Something happens in the external world and then you're triggered because it's sincerely that person's fault. You know what I mean? You know, you see a face, you've seen that face before, you've seen that action, and you get triggered. And it can be simple things like, I don't know, traffic, a person, a voice, a person not being there, a person being there, okay, a voice hitting a certain tempo. Hey, we can have all our triggers. For some people, it's the smell of donuts. The donuts made me do it. Because I tell you, the smell, it causes you, streaks, eat me. I swear to you, the donuts aren't telling me to eat them. I swear to you, okay? My personal take on triggers is, and I know a lot of psychologists and psychiatrists might hate me for this, but triggers, honestly, triggers. Okay, I understand that, I have triggers too. But I understand they aren't triggers too. By example, have you noticed, anyone in the room, have you noticed that sometimes it's just your thinking? Have you noticed that? Yeah, have you noticed that sometimes it's just your thinking? So you could substitute, nainis ako kasi may naisip ako. Can you make that? Nainis ako, and then second statement is, kasi may naisip ako. Can you make that substitution in your head? Okay. And then some people will tell me, nainis ako, can you give me an example of something that makes you inis? Something that makes you feel bad? Anything. Raise your hands if you have something. Wow, no therapy needed. Traffic, what else?
A certain gesture.
A certain gesture from your wife. Okay, a certain specific gesture from your wife. Because we all know that gesture has magical powers. I have no idea what the magical powers are, but the gesture means something. Okay, what else? Thank you for the honest expressions of truth. What else? What else? What else?
When somebody questions my intellect.
Yeah, what's wrong with your intellect? Yeah, what's up with that?
For example,
Yeah, why are you intellectualizing? No.
For example, somebody is like imposing what should I do or how do I raise my kids. From in the first place, they're my kids.
Okay, and that's a
Me
trigger
want to
thing.
shoot that guy.
Somebody. Oh wait, okay. So your version is okay. Let's try this. I'm agitated because. Okay, let's make that a generalized statement. I'm making this up, guys. I'm agitated because I thought something. That seems true, right? And yet we're also agitated. I heard this from somebody talking about a psychologist recently, and they said, but you have certain triggers. Okay. Honestly, what superpower does traffic have to make you feel like crap?
One thing not supposed to be.
No. Yeah, but is it doing that by some strange magical superpower?
No.
Are you getting this? I'm asking you, why is there a universal, why can we create a universal question like, I'm feeling, what? Name a bad feeling. Huh? Okay, I'm feeling sad because I had a thought. That seems true, right? That happens, right? Raise your hands if that's happened to you. I thought of something sad and then it made me feel sad. Okay, raise your hands again if I felt sad because this person did. Raise your hand.
Because this person.
Or whatever, because
Disappointed.
something outside yourself. See, I'm fascinated. You think the first statement is true, and then you think this second statement is true? I assure you that weirdly, the two statements are incompatible. It's either you're thinking or you're thinking.
Thinking.
Are you getting this? I assure you that the traffic is not creating an evil plan to make your life horrible. Even though I'm sometimes convinced that the president does that on purpose. Because he's a horrible president. And then I realized, oh no, that's just thinking. Are you getting this? For some strange reason, your parents 10,000 miles away while they're shipping or sleeping cannot make you feel horrible in that exact moment. For some strange reason, your wife's gesture, even while she isn't here, you just thinking about that gesture can make you feel, Oh no, I saw your face. I saw your body. I can, yeah, you felt it.
I'm thinking about it.
Exactly.
Can you see how that happens? So in a very strange way, kids, we're giving you keys to the kingdom. As panaceic and as strange and as scary and as wonderful as that sounds, we're going to give you the ability to see, begin to see, and see more that it's thought. And when you see that it's thought, you can mess with it. You can play with it. You can be a wizard. You can be an alchemist. You can manage your state from moment to moment to moment by doing very weird things. The first weird, strange, powerful thing, Job already mentioned. He mentioned awareness. Because honestly, if there's a manhole outside of your house, and you fell into it once, well, some people will fall into it like thrice, but manhole outside of your house, if you're aware of it, even if you're texting, and it's 2 a.m., you will manage to avoid that manhole just because you're aware of it. And if not anything else, these 6 days will make you incredibly aware. So aware that some of your shit isn't really shit. And when you learn, for a fact, experientially, that your shit isn't really shit, I have news for you. You have the opportunity to do for other people what John was talking about. You can be kuya to yourself. You can be kuya to someone else, even if it's someone older than you, because of the fact that you've been there. Even if the you've been there is just a microsecond ago when you had the, oh, no, it's not true. My wife's not really doing that. No, it's not really a trigger because still don't get it. How can triggers have power? You see, psychologists and psychiatrists have tried to convince me of that for about the last, I don't know, 2002? Strongly since 2007, since I became more vocal. They've desperately tried to convince my patients. And I have gotten patients from them. I'm sorry, this is on video, and I have friends who are psychologists and psychiatrists, some of them both. But they seem to show up at the clinic and then go out fine. And send me their friends because they're fine. And so what happened to the trigger? I know it's me. What do you mean? There was a trigger, right? Has the trigger disappeared? No, the trigger's there, but I know it's me. I don't get it. You mean the cake isn't calling you at 2 a.m.? Streams! you mean the Yossi isn't... Stress ka. Yossi ko na. No, I know it's not me. And if you've been taking beer for a longest time because it seemed like a good solution, sometimes you'll have the thought, oh God, ice cold beer, and then you realize, oh, I haven't needed to take an ice cold beer in, wow, it's been 5 years. But in the moment, the thought looks real. Does that kind of make sense?
Yes.
By the way, you've just had an experience of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 reframes in a row. Welcome to hypnosis. Did you catch the reframes? Did you get this? One more demo? One more demo. Let's start from a demo from words. I'm just jumping off words that Jov got. Okay? Oh, by the way, for the 1, 2, 3 people for whom the talk was relevant, does it feel different now? Okay? Okay. Yeah. Okay. By the way, for those of you who didn't notice, for the people I needed to talk to in the audience, even as I was talking to the audience, I'm sorry, therapy's done. Are we good? Are we good? But we can do a little bit more if you'd like. Did you have a question?
No.
Okay, good. We'll jump off 2 things that Sir Jov said, which to me are the same thing. And I'll demonstrate a technique in hypnosis or hypnotherapy that Jov has been doing during his wonderful long talk. Let's say you were called weird. Right? Anybody called weird before? Different, strange. This is a beautiful room! What's weird? What happens when you're weird?
You're not used to it.
Yeah, you're not used to it. Okay? What else happens? Like in a room, like asshole classmates, what happens?
Distinction.
Distinction. What happens when there are distinctions?
Uniqueness.
Stink.
I had a classmate who actually stunk.
Focus. Attention.
Yeah, attention. Do you think there are conversations? Do you think people talk? Yeah? Do you think people talk about that weirdness?
Yes.
Yeah. Guess what? That's called being remarked about. That's called pinag-uusapan being remarkable.
Remarkable.
I assure you
I knew
very, very well, I assure you very, very well that excellence demands remarkability. If you aren't doing your shit so amazingly well, or if you aren't worth it, or if your message isn't worth it, nobody talks about it. But if there are even just some people who are detractors finding something, naghahanap ng butas against you, guess what? You have started to become remarkable. You know what that means? You've started to become exceptional. Because only the exceptional ones are talked about, are remarked about. You would hope to be remarkable. If you were not remarkable, that's as good as not existing. Did anyone notice we started from the word weird?
Yes.
How do you feel about being different now?
Very remarkable.
Still the same.
Raise your hands now if you're okay with being remarkable.
Still awesome.
And that's an example of a reframe. And it can be very conversational. It can be just like we're talking. Just like me disagreeing with you, or me agreeing with you, or us having a pep talk, or a friend being a true friend. And it can be that simple, that profoundly life-changing, and that fun. And this jumps off just because a friend asked me a while ago, kailan ka pa ganyan? I didn't get what he was saying. Kailan ka pa ganyan? Sabi niya, kailan ka pa ganyan magbenta? And I didn't realize I was selling. I was just very, very passionate about what this is, and I was sharing where I was coming from. But from a perspective of someone who's a remarkable seller, it looked like I was selling. Okay, without all the ickiness. And guess what I was doing? I was saying, I was doing something remarkable. And I hope I just demonstrated how simple, fun, and easy this can be. Is that good? Nice. And can we have more questions for the other guys, please? For this part, I hope you at least had fun. Yes? Come on. Questions, please. Questions.
Questions? Questions. Sige, while you're thinking of questions or answering them on your own, I just wanted to show you something. Diba yung challenge kanina was traffic, right? You hate traffic, right? What if Maria Ozawa was in the passenger seat? How much would you love it then?
Still the same.
Guys, it's the same thing. It's the same thing.
Oh my
Diba?
God,
You just make a choice.
Actually, that happened.
Yeah, that's exactly. I remember a story. Yeah. So again, same thing. That's something that would work specifically for him.
Right.
For others, it's a chance na may quiet finally, na walang kumakausap sa inyo. It's a box for your meditation. It's when you can listen to your audiobook. It's up to you how you want to shift your mind to make it work for you. So choice, you could have a job you hate, or you could have something that funds you to have money to do your hobbies. So choice, it's not bad or good. But to see that it's choice, it's something. But to know how to change your mind when you want it, when you need it, yun yung power niya. End of the day, we can still decide to be angry. Okay lang. But when you want to stop, you can. Because you have the tools. You can decide to hate someone in your life. Kasi tao tayo. We're still human, we're not taking that away. Pwede ka mag-gadget, pwede mo siyang suntukin. But with these skills, you can decide, okay, tapos na. Nalabas ko na. I can walk away, I can do something else. Or I can leave this relationship behind because I'm done with it already. Nakuha ko na yung kailangan. Or I could find a way, how do I get this person back into my life? Choice. Ability. What you want to give you guys is that take away all the crap that you've been taught. Lahat ng maling naturo sa inyo, makita nyo for what it does to you. Kasi nothing is good or bad. It's how we make up for it in our life. How we use it. So you had a little fun. You can think parang easy thought lang yun eh. But everything is thought.
Yeah. Guys, jumping on what John's saying, if you don't mind, that's really important. Because it's been really, really wonderful for me. It may look like this will change everything, but honestly, this will give you the tools, the beliefs, the insights, the skills, the practice. The practice makes the friends for life. But change happens when you decide. And then you take action on that decision. It starts with strong intention. Sorry, this isn't a magic wand. But it's a magic wand that will work if you use it, and we'd love to help you use it. There's a warning there.
So we're inviting the weird people to come and join us so that we can magnify that weirdness and use it for something good.
That's
right? Yep.
Could you tell us a little bit more about the change words course? Parang there seems to be an overlap kasi sa subject matter.
Actually, ang ginawa namin with Conversational Hypnosis, this will go deep. Kasi magiging siyang experiential workshop every single day. We'll be teaching something new and we'll be drilling it. Versus change words is just 3 days. More of pang-layman siya. But the way the courses are designed is that even if you're coming from zero, it can still be learned easily. So it depends on how you want to use it. If you want to just use it as basic languaging, it's change words. Yun ang focus niya. How do we change a person's mind with words?